So for today, we're going to be looking at the Techsec armor set. If you guys don't know, this is the PvE armor set from the Portal. The other one would be the Last Discipline set, which is the PvP set, which we will be reviewing as well, even though the armor set is very minimal when it comes to the differences. But if you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe really does help, because a huge portion of people are actually not subscribed. So if you can do me a favor, like, comment, sub, hit the bell notification, because that also does help. Also be aware that the Discord is finally up. We have a few people in there now, which is really cool. So if you guys do want to join the Discord, I will have the invitations on the description, which will always be there from any video that I make now. And they should be in the pinned comment section, but if they're not there, they will always be in the description. So remember, the Discord's up. Like the video, tell your friends, all that shit. Other than that, let's get into it. So here is the Techsec armor set, and I have to say I actually really like this armor set, but there are a few things that I don't like, specifically the arms and the boots. But let's get into the good parts first. Good parts, I think the helmet's really cool. The helmet's going to be really cool because it's going to go well with other cloaks that don't have a hood, but it also is really cool because for me personally, I like when hunters have helmets that have just like the visor. I think that's just really cool. The cloak is really good because we do need a little bit more cloaks that have no hoods, but I also think it's like it's not just such a huge cloak, it's a very thin cloak, so it kind of reminds me of the, not cloaks, but I guess there were cloaks in Helldivers. I think we need a cloak like that where it's just like a little bit of cloth on the shoulder. I think that would be cool. And I think the chest piece is really cool. I think the chest piece is super dope. I love the fact that there's like cloth over cloth, and the design looks really cool because with other boots, it's going to look really good. This is where kind of like the compliments stop. I mean, to be fair, the boots are interesting. I just don't like the actual feet because they just end. I think there should have been something a little bit more down there, like maybe some combat boots instead of just like regular Sunday shoes. That's like the best thing I can say, because like they just look really boring. Because everything from like the knees up look really cool, everything from the knees down look really boring. The arms, it's not so much that they're bad, it's just so much that it's just kind of like whatever's. They're symmetrical, which is super cool technically, I should say, because the glows are not symmetrical, so that's kind of annoying. But the arms are really cool, and I actually do like the set that I made with the arms. It's just that like the first things that I noticed was the helmet, the cloak, and the chest piece. The boots and the arms were just kind of like, oh, they exist, they're there. So hunters, actually we should look at the shadering before I get into anything else. So shadering wise, it's not the worst thing in the world actually. I think the shadering's pretty decent. The only problematic piece that I could see is going to be the arms, specifically the arm guards take the off color, and then the actual plate of the chest piece takes the off color. Now it's not so much a problem for the chest piece because I know of like 2 or 3 arms that the shoulder pads take the off coloring. So that's what I ended up doing. I was just like, all right, that's fine, because I'll just use those arms for that and I'll be fine. And thankfully the set that I made with it actually looks really cool because I did incorporate off coloring for the top, and then the bottom I think was the main color. So shader wise, it is annoying, but it's workable only because there's other pieces that are that annoying. So in that sense, like, sure, you could give it negative points, but for me, I'm just gonna keep it like a neutral because I can make it work. As for Titans, I actually really like this set a lot. I think every piece is kind of a banger in this one. That's not real. The mark is kind of boring. And I say that in the sense of like, we have a lot of marks that are just cloth on the right side, and then they just call it a day. Which is kind of like why I'm like kind of whatever's on the mark for this one, because again, we have a lot of these. If you were to ask me like what I would have done differently, symmetrical mark would have been the first thing, because all of this is symmetrical as fuck. So just keep in line with that, and the symmetry would have been really cool. And then just have like pouches and like maybe a gun holster. Make it more militaristic, because obviously this is a little bit more militaristic than anything else. So that's kind of like where my issue comes in. Like maybe have like because this is like very like police inspired. So I would have had like a police belt of some sort, and then like maybe like a badge, like a Vanguard badge, and then maybe like an actual holster to like signify, okay, this is an officer. That would have been better than fucking generic mark number 45. So that's kind of like my issue with the mark. Everything else is really cool. When it comes to shader, you guys will see a few things that I kind of am annoyed about, but helmet I think is super dope. Chest piece I think is super dope. The boots are pretty cool, and then the arms are pretty cool, and you guys will see when it comes to shadering why I say they're pretty cool. Not so much the arms, because the arms I'm just kind of like, they're cool, I don't really have strong feelings for them. But when it comes to the boots, you guys will see that the thigh armor, it takes the off coloring, and then the calf armor takes the main color, and then the actual feet take the off color. So that's kind of annoying. I would have preferred if all of it took main coloring, and then there was pieces in there that took off coloring. Like there is two like not squared, but like rectangles on the thigh armor. If that took the off color and then the main portion took the main color, I would have been fine. I would have been like, that's super cool, that's super workable. Not even workable, that would have been cool. This is just kind of annoying, and when it comes to the example sets, you guys will see I'm just like really annoyed about it, but it does look really cool, mind you. It's just, if it shaded better, I would have been all over it. Yeah, color wise, off coloring, there's a lot in here. These shoulder pads, specifically the like metal pieces, take the off color. The helmet, the actual like outer shell takes the off coloring. I think the chest piece actually has no off coloring, which is really cool, which is also a reason why it's like my favorite piece here. But needless to say, it's not the worst shit in the world, mind you. Like I think it's still going to be very usable. I mean, some of the example sets that I made with it just look amazing. But yeah, I definitely think this is the best set here, just because not only does the armor look really cool, but like everything but the mark is really good. So that is pretty cool. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And then last but not least, we have the Warlocks, which I don't want to say you guys lost, because there are pieces here where I'm like, this is going to be cool. But I don't know. I can't in good conscience say the Hunters lost, because like 2 pieces out of that set, I'm just kind of like whatevers. And if I'm being real, it's just the boots that I'm not a big fan of. For the Warlocks, I don't know. So let's get into the good pieces. I think the good pieces are gonna be the helmet. I think is beautiful. It's really cool. The arms are pretty decent. The boots are actually really cool. The chest piece is the one where I'm like, I like it, but I also think it has problems. It's just, I don't know, like it just doesn't look as good as the other chest pieces for the Hunters or Warlocks, or Titans I should say. I think the bond's very fucking boring. I think they could have done the whole like police like lights a little bit better. Either that, or they could have had like a no. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the chest piece. I think there's much more potential in there. I don't know. It might be the cloth parts from the waist down. Maybe I'm just not the biggest fan of. Yeah, like it kills me because like all the armor looks really good together, and like, oh yeah, like these look like actual armor, or not like an actual uniform that like the guards would wear in the last city. But I just don't know what it is for the Warlocks. Let me know what you guys think. But shadering wise, I don't remember there being a problem for shadering. So shadering, there is a few off. Oh wow, there is. Okay, so there's a lot off coloring here. Arms and boots are basically taking the off coloring for a lot of that. The helmet has the off coloring for the bottom of the jaw. The chest piece, the shoulder pads, and the waist armor is taking the off coloring for plate armor, obviously. That's kind of a problem. Warlocks do have some pieces that are going to be good for off coloring, so I'm not going to say it's as big as a negative as like the Hunters would be. Still, it is a problem. But that being said, I still like a lot of the sets that I made with this, so it's not like the biggest problem in the world. But I do understand if people didn't like this armor set because of that, because if you don't like an armor set like off the rip and then it shaders bad, it's just kind of like, why would I even use this? I already don't like the armor and it shaders like dog shit. Fuck this armor is kind of like the mindset I would go with. And the only reason I ended up doing the armor set is because I make videos for it. So like it's kind of like I make him, but like I already don't like the chest piece, and the chest piece is already taking some off coloring that I'm not a big fan of. So at that point I'm like, okay, so like now I have to actually work double because I already don't like the armor set and it shaders like dog shit. This one's complete. I don't know. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I just don't know how to feel about the Warlock one. I would definitely say, because I enjoy the Hunter set a lot more, I would say the Titans are first, Hunters are second, and then Warlocks are last for sure. Just because like it's very just like middle of the road, but like in a bad way. Like I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I had some decent amount of problems with this armor set when it came to making the actual example sets, but I have made the example sets. Right after I am done with this video, I'm going to be doing the example sets for all the classes, and I gotta say a lot of the sets that I made for those were really fun. So let me know what you guys think. I appreciate y'all. Remember, the Discord is up, so if you guys want to join, feel free to join. I need more people so that way we can start doing some cool things and you guys can actually start talking in there. So let me know what you guys think. I appreciate y'all. Be safe. I'll see you guys later.